Today we're planning for weight loss success in 2023. I have 10 weight loss tips that are going to keep me on track and help me to be successful to reach my goal of losing 50 pounds in 2023. Happy New Year! Today is my very first day on program. The program that I am following to lose 50 pounds this year is Weight Watchers. You can do any program you like. These tips will help anybody be successful no matter what weight loss program you are following. My first tip is to take before photos of yourself from all angles or have somebody else take photos of you. I like to get down into my bra and underwear and have somebody take photos of me from the 4 different angles. And then I tuck them away. Whenever I need motivation, I go back and look at those pictures and hopefully I can see where I have lost weight. Having before photos are also great because sometimes when you're on a weight loss program, you sometimes will reach a plateau and weight loss comes to a halt or it gets very, very slow. Having a visual reminder of where you started can really keep you motivated. I'm very much a visual person and I find that those things really, really help to keep me on track. My second tip for a successful weight loss is take all of your measurements. And I mean all of your measurements. I measure my neck, my shoulders, my biceps, my chest, my waist, hips, my lower hips, my thighs, my calves. Any part of your body where you feel that you have extra weight on, I would measure that, keep those measurements in a nice book, and every month take your measurements no matter what, because even if the scale hasn't budged, lots of times you have lost weight, you have lost inches, because you have to remember that if you are exercising, muscle weighs more than fat. So even though the scale may not be budging, the measuring tape probably has. So that's just another tool that helps to keep you motivated when you have a lot of weight to lose. The third tip is something that I have struggled with and I really need to solidify this year because I feel that it is key to helping me lose my weight, and that is once a week I'm going to sit down, I'm going to plan my meals for the week. I don't mean I have to have every meal for 7 days planned out, but just in general, if I plan out what I'm going to have, say for lunch and dinner, breakfast for me is normally very automatic. I'm happy eating the same thing every day. It's simple. But where I struggle is when it comes to lunchtime, because usually I've been busy all morning working and then it's just so easy to say, oh, let's just grab something, or let's just go through a drive-thru and pick something up. So this is where I really have to hone in this year, and I really have to sit down, plan out some meals, and whenever I plan out my meals, I'm going to make enough so that I have leftovers. Because it would be nice if we have dinner and then I have leftovers for my lunch the next day, and that really takes a lot of pressure off of me. Instead of like scrounging around at 5 after 12, at noon hour looking for something to eat. I really feel that this will help me to be successful. And it's also important to remember whenever you're meal planning to go through your pantry and make sure that you have all of the ingredients. And if you don't have the ingredients, this is when I would add it to my grocery list. We get our groceries at Walmart. We don't even bother going in the store anymore. They bring them out to the car. I love it. We started doing this during COVID, and I think I've been in a grocery store maybe twice in the last 3 years. It's just a time saver. I always like to remember this saying, fail to plan, plan to fail. So I got to take time each week, meal plan, and make sure I have all the ingredients ready. Tip number 4 is meal prep. I've never done this in my life, honestly. And all the times that I have, started a diet program, I cannot believe that I have never meal prepped. And that's probably why I'm, still here trying to lose 50 pounds. I really feel that meal prep is another important component for me to be successful with my weight loss this year. It's nice to have, pre-cut veggies available to something to munch on if I'm hungry, or I want to make a stir fry or a salad or a sandwich. It's just great to have things in the fridge ahead of time. I plan to do some meal prep videos where I will also cook up some chicken breasts so that I can throw them in some salads or make some sandwiches. I also want to cook up some quinoa and some brown rice so that I can make power bowls for lunch. If I have all of these things in my fridge already, it's really easy to just get the containers out, scoop everything into a bowl, pop it in the microwave, and in, under 5 minutes I have a nice healthy lunch. Much better than going, and grabbing something that's really not healthy for me and that's not going to help me reach my goal. The fifth weight loss tip that I have for you is to change your mindset. By this I mean move away from the thinking that I had in the past about weight loss. I feel like it's been burned into my brain that I have to have 3 main meals a day. That's how I grew up, having like meat and potatoes for supper every night and having, big breakfast and a big lunch. I have to forget about the food pyramid that I learned in school where, all of the carbs were the mainstays. We now know that things are a lot different and it's more important to have protein. You can have some carbs, some good carbs, but just don't load up on them. So I'm really trying to shift the way that I think about food. I'm going to make a conscious effort to get a lot of protein into my 3 meals a day because that is a part that I struggle with. I find I don't eat a lot of protein. I tend to eat more carbs, and that's really what is bad because it turns into sugar, which turns into fat and weight gain. So it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but I think that if I do some meal prep beforehand, it's really going to help me because these 3 points, planning my meals, prepping my meals, and changing my mindset on what I have to eat or when I have to eat, I think those 3 things are connected and that they're going to be very helpful to me for being successful at weight loss. I have to learn about different types of protein. I want to maybe 1 day a week just do plant-based eating. I don't eat a lot of beef. I eat 99% of the time chicken. I don't like fish. We'll have red meat maybe, I don't know, once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks. I want to look into maybe stop eating starchy carbs like at maybe 2 in the afternoon, and then for dinner maybe just have some fresh vegetables, a salad with some chicken. And I'm also going to incorporate like stopping eating at 6 p.m. at night and then having my breakfast at 9 the next day, because I have gotten into lately nibbling at things like after supper. Even if I have an apple, like I just want to get away from eating. So what I'm going to do is whenever dinner's done, I'm going to go floss, brush my teeth, and then, I'm not going to want to eat. And hopefully that's going to help me not get the munchies in the evening. So if I stop eating at 6 p.m. and I have breakfast at 9, that gives me, a 15-hour window. So I'm kind of like doing some intermittent fasting. I'm going to do it the way that I want to do it, what works for me. And I think that will also be very helpful. I'm not the type of person, I can't eat when I first get up. I'm not hungry. And also I take my thyroid medication, so I have to wait a good hour before I can eat after taking that. And because I always eat the same thing anyways, it's not a big deal. I just have Greek yogurt with blueberries and raspberries. So that is my breakfast every day. I look forward to it and it keeps me satisfied until noon hour when I have lunch. The next tip that I have for my weight loss success this year is I plan on doing 10 minutes of cardio exercise 5 days a week. That may not seem like a lot of exercise, but from somebody that is basically a sloth, couch potato, having a goal of 10 minutes a day I think is attainable. And if I can do that for a couple of weeks, I feel that it's going to boost my spirits and then I will want to continue on and do more. Now, obviously, the goal is to get to 30 minutes a day, 7 days a week, but I am not setting myself up to fail because I know if I set that as a goal, like right out of the gate, I just set myself up to fail and I know what happens, I just give up. So I know myself best, I know what works for me, and I suggest that would be a good thing for you too. Like, don't do what the masses say to do. Do what you know that you can actually do, what you can actually keep up with, and what is going to work for you. Just because something works for somebody else, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. You really have to fine-tune the things that can fit into your lifestyle, things that you can do every day and be successful at, and those are building blocks. And I think if I can do a few of these things, then after, maybe the first month, I'll have a really good weight loss, and that's going to really make me feel good about myself, and I'm going to want to build on it and continue on. From my past experience, I know that I have failed because I feel like I have to be perfect right out of the gate from everything, because that is my attitude. It's all or nothing. And I really struggle with that, and that is something that I'm going to have to deal with, and that is why I'm setting like such a low goal for exercise just in the beginning. Like, this is going to change in the second month, but the first month is just about learning the program, building healthy habits, changing my mindset, like getting rid of the old way of thinking when it comes to food and exercise and weight loss. And then as the months go by, we'll keep building on every month. The next tip that I have is to get a good food scale. I have a food scale that lives in my cupboard. What good is it doing me? It's not helping living in my cupboard. So I'm going to actually bring my food scale down, put it on my countertop at mealtime, and I'm going to measure and make sure that I have the proper size, the proper portion size. Because, you can eyeball it, but, is a cup really that big? Or it's okay to eyeball things, but sometimes I think once in a while it's good to just double check and make sure that the portion size is right. I'm so excited. I found a fancy measuring spoon on Amazon. It's on its way here, and I will show it to you in next week's video, because next week I'm going to go dive deep into the Weight Watchers plan. After having used it for a week, I'm going to tell you what my results were for the week, what I think about the program, and I want time to work with the app, and I'm going to show you how to work the app. But I saw this measuring spoon. It is so cool, and I figured I need this thing to set myself up for weight loss success, because it's going to be really helpful, and I never knew I could get so excited about a measuring spoon, but wait until you see it. Something that really, really helps to keep me on track is logging my food. Whether I'm doing it in a weight loss app like Weight Watchers, there's free ones like my Fitness Pal, just writing it down in a book. If I don't write something down, it's like it doesn't get filed up here. And even if I put things in my phone, I find that I don't remember it. I actually have to put pen to paper, and I think it's a proven fact if you do that, you're more apt to remember things. So that's why I still like to write things down, because even if I have a bad day, I can look at what I ate, and then it kind of like, flips a switch in my brain, and it's like, oh gosh, I did not have a good day, so tomorrow let's do better. But I find if I'm just keeping track in my head, I forget, or I forget what I want to forget. So definitely writing things down is very, very beneficial. When I log my food, I'm more apt to stay on plan. The next one is a biggie, and this is one that I struggle with, and it is be kind to myself. I am my own worst critic. I talk sometimes very negatively to myself, especially when it comes to weight loss. That is something that I have to work on, something that I need to change and improve this year. I have to celebrate the small successes. It's going to take a while to lose 50 pounds, so I'm in this for the long haul, and I have to realize there's going to be days where I'm going to, go off program. That is fine, as long as I get back on track. And I have to remember that I just have to be good 80% of the time. That is what matters. It's okay to go to McDonald's, once a week if you plan for it. But it's not okay to go every day, right? It's okay to, have a bowl of ice cream as long as I plan for it. But again, you can't go every day for ice cream. So these are really important things that I have to wrap my head around, because I am my own worst critic, I need to be a cheerleader for myself, because there's enough critics out in the world today. And it's so important whenever we speak to ourselves that we speak kindly to ourselves, because we would never speak harshly to a friend that was struggling and losing weight, right? We would build them up, we would cheer them on and tell them tomorrow's a new day, start fresh. So it's really important to remember that when you're talking to yourself, your internal dialogue, and just keep telling myself that I'm doing a good job. And that really, really does help set the tone for success, because even if you start the day with a positive affirmation, I find that the day will run more smoothly than if I begin the day and don't have any affirmation, or if I wake up and I'm cranky. The rest of the day is usually, a bust. So be kind to yourself during the journey. The next tip that I have is don't deprive yourself. Like I said, it is okay if you want to go out to a restaurant, but plan for it. If you're doing Weight Watchers, there's ways that they have extra points that you can use and you will still lose weight during the week. Those extra points are for these particular reasons, where you want to, go to celebrate a friend's birthday or go to a party. But the thing is, you can't have a party every day. It's really important that I do not deprive myself. Like I said earlier, I know myself. And let's just say that there's, a chocolate bar in the cupboard. And I know the chocolate bar is there. The chocolate bar is calling out to me, Cathy, come and eat me, it's time. And I'm like, no, I'm going to have an apple, and then I'm going to have some veggies and dip, and I still want that chocolate bar. So eventually I eat the chocolate bar. So my point is, you cannot deprive yourself. You cannot be perfect 100% of the time. Try the 80-20 rule. Be perfect, or do your best 80% of the time, and 20% of the time, it's okay to have fun. But I just have to remember, I can't have fun like that every day. I know myself that if I deprive myself, I will fail. So you have to know yourself. You have to know where your weaknesses are and work around them, because everybody is different. Like for me, I don't drink alcohol. I could care less. But maybe for somebody, they're going to save once a week, they can have a glass of wine with their spouse for dinner. That's not important to me. What's more important to me is, going out to a restaurant, because I work at home. I need to get out of the house, otherwise I'd never see any people. So it's really important to plan. And show yourself some grace. So many of you told me that I need to be kinder to myself and show myself some grace whenever I shared my 2022 weight loss recap. You should really go check out that video. We really dove deep into last year, the struggles that I had, but yet you all reminded me that I was still here trying. So it really wasn't a failure last year, even though I didn't reach my goal. The point is, I never gave up. I'm still here and I'm still fighting for myself, and you can do that too. So if you need some inspiration, I'll link that video here in a card. Go check it out. Read the comments. Lots of wonderful, wonderful comments. There's over 500 comments now. That video has only been up for 5 days. So I know that video touched a nerve with a lot of you. And we have a really, really nice core group of people here that want to help each other and support each other. And I plan on doing these monthly reviews on how I'm doing with my weight loss. You don't have to be on Weight Watchers. Just join us. You can be on any program you like, or even if you're at your goal weight, join us, because it's always nice to hear from somebody that has lost weight and what worked for them. So be sure to come back next week. I'm going to dive into the Weight Watchers new program, tell you what I think about it, because like I said, today is my actual first day on program. Would you believe I got the stomach flu between Christmas and New Year's on top of having been sick the last 2 months? I was never so glad to see a year go as 2022. Like, I'm so looking forward to 2023. And I will be doing some what I eat in a day or what I eat in a week type of videos. So good luck to you this week, and I will see you soon. Bye.